I've never seen anything like this particular one. People treating £300,000 cars as if they're disposable items, you know, just smacking them off barriers, and it's getting very attritional. Anyhow, I don't have a down on it. It's the best race in the world. I'm absolutely privileged to have been a part of it.
It was, yeah, it's so disappointing. I'm glad we finished, and I'm very pleased for John and Monkey. It's just such a shame we couldn't have carried on, because we were so close for right up until the middle of the night.
The first stint, kind of got to grips with the car, and then you just get better each time. Each time you're in the car, you just learn a bit more about it. I'm pretty relaxed with it in the last stint, which was handy because I was absolutely shattered.
It's been a long weekend, but we finished P20 with the second highest 997 Cup car, which I'm over the moon about for Chris and Guy and Barry and the whole of Team Parker Racing, because it's quite something to get a Cup car to last 24 hours. They're known to have very temperamental gearboxes and stuff goes wrong, and honestly, we had a fault-free race. We replaced the splitter, that was it, in 24 hours. And for us personally, that chassis, that car, that's the third 24-hour race it's entered, and I always wanted it to finish one, and it's done that now. So maybe it needs to be pensioned off and just left with all the grime on it and stuck in a shed somewhere.
The guys have learned a lot about the car, and it's all part of their development program for the Zagato, so it's been great in that sense. But you just see everyone work so hard on the build-up to the race, and then the race week itself, and then you kind of dare to hope you're going to get a reasonable finish, and then something completely random, like being driven into by somebody coming out of the pits. Yeah, it wasn't even getting tangled up with, you know, trying to overtake someone. It's just kind of just one of those things. And then all the problems with the car stemmed from that one thing. So I think we had 3 different stops for 3 hours or more because of that. So after that, it's hard to sort of pick yourself up and get back driving again. But as soon as you get in the car, it's amazing around here. So.
Yeah, you have to be on top of the car. The car's quite easy to drive in terms of weights, but to get the best out of it, you have to drive it quite close to the limit. Somebody asked me what it was like, and I said, well, you know when a photographer asks you if you can do a cornering shot, and the corner looks a little bit iffy. So it's like that for about 8 laps, about 150 miles. So yeah, it's that drains you. And when I got into the car for the last session, I had to sort of G myself up to get the adrenaline going, you know, get a bit of a pace on it. But that, yeah, it kind of worked. But I couldn't. If somebody offered me another stint now, I just couldn't do it. I'm just completely exhausted.
I didn't enjoy the graveyard. I did a double between about 2:30 and 5:30, and there was a massive off in the foxhole. I don't know if you saw that. There was something that burnt, like a Mini that burnt. When you come down and you see a car just burning, and you don't know whether the person's out of it or in it, or you know, that's the slowest lap you'll ever do after that.
The first message I got when I left the pits was there is a car on fire in the foxhole, and that pretty much set the scene for it, really. There was just cars and debris everywhere for about half of that session. You think you know the circuit, and then somebody turns the lights out. It's like when the power goes out in your living room. You know where everything is. There's a blooming good chance that you're going to bark your knee on something. So you have to sort of leave a little margin here and there. And some of the professional drivers didn't seem to slow down at all. Some of the blue flashing lights, absolutely on it still.
I always think it's a great privilege to be driving a car around here as the sun comes up. Okay, it wasn't a clear day today, but just as the light appears, it's amazing.
And the plan was to just keep going. So we weren't using full revs all the time, so we could go 9 laps instead of 8. And it all just totted up in the end. That was 16 extra laps without pit stops, so that's 2 pit stops. And nobody really made a mistake. We just kept going round and round. And we put our pro driver in for a long stint at the end, and that got us 2 more places, so brilliant. That was the right thing to do.
I think I'll sleep like a baby tonight, although I am obviously going to go and get completely bollocksed and make a fool of myself.
No, I've already sprayed one. I'm going to save that for later.
Yeah, I want to be back next year now, see if we get some better luck. Hopefully, yeah. Cool. I'm going to have a beer now. Thank you very much.